It takes a real powerhouse of an actor to take on the role of the Clown Prince of Crime. And in theaters everywhere, people are watching Joaquin Phoenix step into those clown shoes, in awe of the very special tragedy that Joaquin Phoenix brings to the role. Like most other actors to play this role, Joaquin Phoenix has brought his own sense of energy to it. Out of Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, and Joaquin Phoenix, there isn't really a best Joker. There isn't really a definitive one in that bunch. There is a worst one, yeah, that's Jared Leto. But I'd be damned if I had to rank the rest because they're also very different. And that is partly thanks to the writing and thanks to the amazing performances of the actors in those roles. And to see Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker once again got me feeling inspired. Inspired to make my own list of actors who I feel could make great Jokers, and kind of assign the kind of Joker I'd love to see them play. So here are my top 10 actors that I would love to see play the Joker. So the first two spots that I'm gonna do in this list are not gonna be the most inspired casting choices. The rest, I'll leave it up to you. But in 10th place for actors that I would like to see play the Joker is Jared Leto.
Channel Pup, sir.
What is it, Kermit?
Jared Leto already played the Joker.
Wait, what? Did I miss that? When was that?
In 2016, sir, in Suicide Squad.
You're joking me. That's what he was supposed to be? Well, in that case, I want him to do it again, but to play a completely different version of the character. I mean, it's not like that hasn't been done before now. It's happened with J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man Far From Home, same actor, different portrayal, and it's due to happen with Deadpool in the MCU, with Ryan Reynolds returning to play a different Deadpool. I'd definitely be happy to see Jared Leto return as the Joker, provided it's a different version of the character. 2016's incarnation of the Joker stripped everything back that made the character great. People praising the new Joker as much as they are for how he's kind of being such a compelling character that you kind of root for him, yet at the same time you feel kind of sick for doing so because he's a total sociopath, as if that's something new. This hysteria is really just evidence to how diluted of a character the Joker has become in film. Because Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson did exactly that. It's kind of the entire point of the character in a post-Silver Age world, and that's what Jared Leto lacks. He lacks all of that. He's just a thug that kind of vaguely resembles the Joker. I would like to see Jared Leto portray the beautiful disaster that we were promised. I would love to see him play the Joker like a nasty, twisted artist. The kind of guy that composes his crimes like they're abstract art, and just relishes in that and indulges in that. Because that's almost kind of like a psychotic version of what Jared Leto actually is. The guy is undeniably a bit of an abstract artwork. You're a weird guy, Jared Leto. And I feel like that personal talent could lend itself pretty well to an adaptation of the Joker. The thing I need to know more than anything else, though, in regards to Jared Leto returning as the Joker, whether they fix the portrayal or not, can he actually get the laugh right? Because I'm sorry, but Jared Leto's laugh as the Joker doesn't sound like a laugh at all. Okay, again, I said that places 10 and 9 would be a little familiar, a little uninspired. So, in 9th place, I've actually chosen Cameron Monaghan. This young heartthrob actor may not look like much, but Jesus Christ is he creepy when he wants to be. Now, technically, theoretically, on paper, Cameron Monaghan has never actually played the Joker before. He's played two separate characters that were, to all intents and purposes, the Joker. But it feels like unfinished business when he hasn't actually played the real Joker. Now, Cameron Monaghan is an absolute scene stealer of an actor, which is perfect. That lends itself perfectly to the Joker. He's quite a pointy guy. He's got quite a defined jawline and chin region, which very much resembles the Joker of the Silver Age comic books very nicely. If you've seen his performances in Gotham, you know this guy can nail the laugh and the voice, but I think what's also very interesting about him is that he always changed his portrayal up. You never knew quite what you were going to get from these characters that he was playing, but I mean that in a very positive way. It's not to say they were inconsistent, it's just that every time he stepped into the outfit of Jerome or Jeremiah Valeska, he brought something brand new to the role. I would love to see yet another version of this, but in the form of a definitive Joker, and I feel like Cameron Monaghan is the guy that could bring us a definitive Silver Age Joker. Maybe give him a little bit of time to age into that role, but I think it would be a real disservice to him as an actor and the Joker as a character if we didn't at some point capitalize on how good this tried and tested actor is for this role when he gets a little older. As well as that, he's only really played the role in a show that was kind of self-aware about how silly it was. I would love to see him play the Joker in a very serious take on a Batman movie. Okay, now we're gonna get a little interesting with this list. In 8th place, I've chosen Robert Carlyle. Robert Carlyle is a damn good actor, and if you've ever seen the TV series Once Upon a Time and seen his portrayal of Rumpelstiltskin, you know that this guy can achieve the sort of cartoony charisma of the Joker while being insanely creepy. The thing is, his performance in Once Upon a Time proves that Robert Carlyle can play the Joker as a more reserved, business-like enemy, or he can play him as the complete wacky cartoon zany clown that we know the Joker can also be too. I feel like he could switch between the two versions of the Joker in a really graceful and a really rather unpredictable way. Sometimes the Joker is at his most terrifying in his quiet time, because you just know something's not right in those cases. To be able to see Robert Carlyle explode into that Joker-like persona would just be a sight to behold. And it comes as a surprise to me that we haven't seen him in more blockbusters. I don't know, maybe he doesn't want it. In 7th place is Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, here's my angle. If we were to keep the original branch of the DC Extended Universe going, and Jared Leto really didn't want to come back, I think you could swap him out with Jake Gyllenhaal and nobody would notice. But as a matter of fact, I actually prefer Jake Gyllenhaal as an actor to Jared Leto, which is probably just gratitude to his performance as Mysterio. The thing is, Jake Gyllenhaal's the kind of guy you can take seriously even while he's being zany, which is perfect for the Joker. He's got a lot of charisma, a great sense of humor, and he really knows how to be creepy. And the Joker is always a lot of fun to watch when he's being that little bit extra creepy. I feel like Jared Leto's Joker in Suicide Squad was meant to be creepy, but it just didn't reach across because it wasn't the kind of movie that could A, accommodate for that, and B, I don't know. It just didn't meet the criteria. In 6th place is Will Poulter. Now, this guy definitely needs to age into the role unless he's playing a younger Joker, which perhaps could work being as we've got a younger Batman in Robert Pattinson. It would depend if you were willing to accept the idea that the Joker is younger than Batman, but I get the feeling he could age into the role. Now, I hope this doesn't sound rude or personal toward Will Poulter, but the guy's just a bit creepy looking. It is definitely the eyebrows. But he just has this creepy stare. I mean, I'm also not going to ignore the elephant in the room. The guy looks like he could be like the cousin of Cameron Monaghan. He looks like an aged up version of Sid from Toy Story, and he knows it. He's kind of known as an actor for his kind of boyish charm, but if you've ever seen him in Black Mirror Bandersnatch, this is a creepy guy. He's very, very creepy. Being able to switch from boyish charm to extremely creepy is an essential asset to the Joker. Give him about 10 years, have his hair grow out, and I would love to see him play the Joker. Which is ironic because in an interview he actually stated that he'd never want to play the Joker because he feels like the role is untouchable after the late Heath Ledger, which shows that he's also respectful and he deserves it. I just want to see this guy prove himself wrong. In 5th place is Ted Danson, and you know what? This is the guy that should have been the Joker opposite Ben Affleck's Batman, for one good reason. Ben Affleck's Batman is loosely based on the Dark Knight Returns version of Batman. I feel like Ted Danson could do wonderfully in the role as the Dark Knight Returns version of the Joker. For starters, Ted Danson is known for being extremely charismatic, but he's also got this kind of steely look like you wouldn't necessarily always want to mess with him. He's got a good performance range, and I feel like that steely look of his would bode well with a Dark Knight Returns inspired version of the Joker. Plus, the guy just looks great in a suit. He's also got kind of a pointy chin going on, and he's got these oddly shadowy eyes. Something about this guy just kind of screams Joker to me. Like, when I see him, I think, this guy's a few bad weeks away from becoming the Joker. In 4th place is Christoph Waltz, and I guess that should be a little bit of an obvious pick. When you cast Christoph Waltz as a calculating villain, you're not gonna get a bad performance out of the guy, you're just not. Christoph Waltz could make a wonderfully sadistic Joker who has his finger on all of the buttons of Gotham City. He's kind of like the charismatic boss of all the operations and pranks going on to Gotham City that you never actually want to meet face to face. He's the shot caller that the worst of the worst answer to. He is the Satan to Gotham's devils. He's the Joker that the criminal underworld see in their nightmares. He's the Joker that only comes out to play when things get really, really serious. In third place is Evan Peters. Now, I know what you're thinking. What? But hear me out. The guy kind of looks like Heath Ledger, but that's not the angle I'm going for here. If you've ever seen American Horror Story Hotel, and you see James March, that's Evan Peters as James March. James March is very much sort of an old school dandy, if you will. Very old school gangster, very, very eloquent. And I think that's definitely one way I've always viewed the Joker, is he's like a twisted gentleman. Very old school sensibilities. He's the guy that'll suit up in top hat and tails when it's time for the party, and as far as the Joker's concerned, it's always a party. This is the Joker I would love to see in a 1950s set Batman movie. But admittedly, at the same time, I feel like the Joker's a pretty timeless character, and well, James March is pretty timeless in American Horror Story Hotel. Whoever said a present-day Joker needs to be modern? As well as that, Evan Peters is an extremely versatile, extremely expressive actor. And I think he's been through an awfully hard time recently, and he deserves a great role to take his mind off of things. Or blow his mind altogether, I guess. He is on the younger end of the spectrum on this list, and that's why he'd go great with Robert Pattinson's Batman. So seriously, I advise you to look up videos of James March in American Horror Story Hotel, because that's the case that I'm making here. In second place is Richard E. Grant. Richard E. Grant, while a very dignified actor, can do zany performances very well, but he can also do very dark and steely-like villain performances too. As well as that, I feel that if made up right, he could resemble the Arkham Joker very accurately, and let's face it, that's the best version of the Joker that there's ever gonna be. Richard E. Grant is another one that would have made a prime Joker when he was in the right age group, but has now aged out of that a little bit. But I don't mind the idea of the Joker being a little on the older side. Richard E. Grant could give us both a very creepy and a very zany Joker, and switching between the two, as always, it makes for a great performance, and a very unpredictable character, which is exactly what the Joker is all about. And in first place, I don't think there has been any bigger sin than the fact that this actor is in the DC Extended Universe, but he's not playing the Joker. It's pretty obvious who the best man for the role of the Joker is, and that is Willem Dafoe. He's absolutely perfect for this role, and I don't think I even need to explain why. For starters, his Green Goblin is fantastic, and if you can make the Green Goblin work, chances are you can make the Joker work. But as well as that, the guy just looks like the Joker, sounds like the Joker, we know he could nail the laugh, we know he can do the grin, so like, why not, you know, just do it already. Willem Dafoe's Joker could be the stuff of nightmares, but could also be a dream come true for fanboys of the classic Joker. And it's so baffling as to why this hasn't been done before. What do you guys think? Comment below and discuss who do you think would make a great Joker. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, you want to see more like it, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the like button, and in the description below are links to my Patreon and my Discord. This video is brought to you by Zentai for all your cosplay needs. Link is in the description below, and they are very cool and good. Cosplay your favorite characters or send in one of your own designs. Affordable prices and very high quality. Made to order and made to measure. But most of all, made to be heckin' awesome, if you couldn't already tell. Guys, can you believe where we are now and where we started? How long ago it was that Channel Pup, or Channel Go even, came about? Because it really wasn't that long when you think about it. Can you believe the amount of support I've received from this community, from all of you subscribing to the channel and everything? It's unreal. It's a dream come true for me. But behind the YouTubers you watch usually comes a bit of a truth, is that they're often dirt poor. Now, I've had the good fortune of being able to grow this YouTube channel, and hopefully turn it into a career, but I'm gonna need a little bit of help along the way, to even the odds, to make ends meet, so that I can use all of the possible time that I have to make videos for you guys as opposed to doing something mundane for barely enough money to make it worth its while. I've done all that. I've lived that life. The fact is, together we all built Channel Pup. We made it what it is today, and I want to keep the ball rolling on that. I don't ever want to stop doing this because this is the most gratifying job I've ever had, and I think the most pleasurable hobby anyone could ever have. I don't take any of the support that I receive from you guys for granted, but if in any way you're wondering if maybe you could do a little more for the channel even, then I want to direct you to the Patreon link in the description below. It would mean the world to me to have your support via Patreon. It can help me to make ends meet. It can help me to better my content. It can help me to have more time to really work on this stuff. But you know what? I'm not just going to take your support and run. No way, Jose. In the Patreon, you can access exclusive videos via the Pups Project Room playlist, where you can see different projects that I've been working on or have worked on that have either not made it to YouTube for general viewing or have been cancelled, or, well, you can get a little view of the process that goes behind the Channel Pup videos and productions. As well as that, you tend to get advanced previews of the bigger Channel Pup projects, our tentpole event projects. If you've seen Marvelous Tales of Spider-Man, you'll be aware that that was released on the Patreon first, and 20 days later approximately was released for general viewing on YouTube. That's not the only time I'm gonna do this. But you know what? If you can't do the Patreon or are just not interested in doing the Patreon, I fully understand. Like, it's still a big ask in my opinion. And what counts most is your support. So, as always, thank you so much, guys. I've been Channel Pup, and I will think of a better catchphrase next time. Now please leave me alone!